Hello everybody. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about parental guilt. So have you ever felt guilty? Have you ever felt that something you've done or you haven't done might have a negative impact on your child? So my personal answer is yes. As a mom and as a professional, I feel it's highly unlikely for a parent or a carer not to have felt guilt. And guilt is a very common and very normal feeling. However, it can become problematic. Very often, when we keep thinking about what we've caused to a child, then we tend to overestimate our impact in the situation. So we tend to make the picture bigger than it is. We can also feel paralyzed, and we can feel that no matter what we do in future, then situation cannot be improved. So we can feel a bit helpless. So when we feel guilty, very often it's hard to motivate ourselves to try and move on and improve the situation. So the antidote is acceptance. So what is acceptance? Acceptance is a skill that we can develop by practicing it. So acceptance is about being able to have a realistic approach on our experience. So let me tell you an example. I was working with a couple that they had a child and they were going through divorce. So the child's behavior was very challenging as a result. So these parents were feeling very, very guilty, and they were feeling that they've damaged their own child. And during the initial sessions, they kept talking about the damage they've caused. And we were unable to move on with the conversation. We were unable to support them to improve their parenting and change the responses because they were so stuck on their guilt. So after a few sessions, they managed to accept the situation, and only when they accept the situation that they couldn't be together, they had to go through the divorce, and this was the child was responding the way it was responding as a result, were able to explore how they could support the child. So we can do a very short practice which aim to support you to perhaps reflect on something that you might feel guilty right now. So this is not meditation. We usually do meditative practices, but for the purposes of this video, let's do it as a reflective exercise. What you need to have is a few uninterrupted minutes. You can have a pen and a bit of paper because it might be helpful for you to keep notes as we're doing the practice. So you might want to start by taking a few deep breaths, aiming to connect to this present moment. Now, can you bring into mind a time that you felt that your actions had a negative impact on your child? So let this situation of guilt to unfold and notice your thoughts. What are your thoughts right now? Do you notice any emotions coming up? Can you label your experience? For example, you might notice that a feeling of hopelessness is here for you right now. And your experience might be very different than the example I just gave. But just try to see if you can put your experience into words. What do you feel like doing right now? Do you feel like stop thinking about that? Or do you feel like keep thinking about that? Perhaps making it bigger than it is? Or is there any tendency for you to beat yourself up? Just keep in mind that everything that comes up is absolutely fine, and there is no right or wrong way to feel. Just becoming aware of what is happening in your body and your mind right now. Now you might want to reflect on how your feelings and your thoughts might help you to deal with this situation. What might be helpful for you to do? How do you think might be for you if you were to accept this situation? Would anything change? And now we're coming at the end of this reflective exercise. You might want to take some time to reflect on your experience. You might want to discuss it with somebody. But please feel free to comment and I will be happy to respond. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you very much.